Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Kiss.
Feliz Navidad, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas from Kiss.
Ho, ho, ho! I'm wishing everybody a really Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year.
Someone stole Santa? That does not rock!
Vinyl community, welcome to another episode of 25 Days of KISSmas, where every day leading up to KISSmas, I will be reviewing and discussing every Kiss studio album plus more. For the second episode, I will be reviewing the Hotter Than Hell album from 1974. Now, amidst a crazy touring schedule, the band decamped to Los Angeles in August that year to record the album with Richie Wise and Kenny Kerner, who had produced the debut and had just relocated to the area. And with the band getting accustomed to their new surroundings, the end result was the band's murkiest sounding album, and some of the new heavier elements that were worked into the album pair well with the production choice. A lot of people dog this album because of that, but I think it sort of adds to the album's charm. So let's dive into the album. Side 1, Track 1, Got to Choose. Written by Paul and originally titled Who's Your Baby, based off of the chorus. And speaking of, was based on the chorus of the Wilson Pickett tune 99.5 Won't Do. Track 2, Parasite, an Ace Frehley composition, once again given to Gene to sing, and I have to say personally, this is maybe my favorite Kiss song. The simple hammering riff in the intro is infectious, the riffs in the verse have this powerful, menacing quality to it, and the ending is the perfect showcase for Ace to show off his guitar abilities. Track 3, Goin' Blind. The origins for this song date back to 1970, where it was first written as Little Lady by Gene and Steve Coronel, who was in Wicked Lester, and prior to settling on that name, the band was originally called Rainbow, and it was when they had that name that the song got a live airing. Now, some of the original lyrics, such as Little Lady from the Land Beneath the Sea, were modified, but Gene brought them back when the song was performed for their MTV Unplugged performance in 1995. Even Paul was responsible for contributing the lyric, I'm 93 and you're 16, which completely shifts the song's meaning from a more mythological viewpoint to one that is rather twisted about an old man trying to communicate with a young girl. So it does stand out as being the band's first ballad, and weird lyrics aside, it's a solid hard-rocking one. Track 4, Hotter Than Hell. This one from Paul is kind of a rewriting of the Free song All Right Now with the outro's riff that's almost Sabbath sounding. Lyrically, it's about getting your rocks off with a girl, but then she shows you her wedding band. Little slight twist to the song's narrative. Track 5, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll. Now, Gene wrote the lyrics first during a lunch break at his day job, and this was matched with a riff that Paul was working on, so it is a unique collaboration effort between the two. Originally titled Baby Let Me Go, this was one of the band's earliest songs. It was demoed around the time of the first album, but didn't make it onto the final cut. Typically, this song would end the live show, but this 2-minute studio version doesn't do justice to the live version, where this song shines more with the extended instrumental passages towards the end, and Peter shouting, Kiss loves you, rock and roll, and interestingly enough, this was the sole single to be released from the album. We're going to flip the album over to Side 2, Track 6, All the Way. A Gene track that was written almost specifically for the album since it was penned before the sessions took place. A cool number with a cool syncopated riff and some tasteful odd placements of cowbell. Track 7, Watchin' You, another Gene composition that actually takes back to the band's first show at Coventry, where it was performed, and it was on the band's demo with Eddie Kramer, so it was held back for some time before it got a proper release. Musically, it kind of riffs from Jeff Beck's Rock Me Baby and Mountain's Mississippi Queen. Track 8, Mainline, a Paul composition that Peter demanded to sing or else he was going to leave the band. So Paul rightly did so, and apparently the song was performed once during this album's tour. And why was there no tape recorder running just for historical significance? Track 9, Comin' Home. Now this marks a unique collaboration between Paul and Ace. It's unsure who exactly contributed what to the tune, but the song very much sums up where the band was at this point in their career with a non-stop touring schedule. A much-loved deep cut that was kind of given a new lease on life when it opened their MTV Unplugged show in 1995. Track 10, Strange Ways. The album wraps up with an Ace composition that he had given Peter to sing. Rumor has it that Gene had a crack at singing it as well. Now, Ace just delivers this frantic, insane guitar solo that was nailed in one take, and it adds a nice sort of contrast to the song's sludgy sound. Now, this song originally clocked in at 7 minutes in length, and that's because Peter was insistent on including a drum solo at the middle of the song, similar to Led Zeppelin's Moby Dick, and he was insistent that if it was cut, he would leave the band. Sure enough, he cuts the solo, and when he left the studio, it was edited out, and sure enough, he never left the band. Now, supposedly, this song lasted in the set list for a couple of shows in early '75, and that is something I would kill to hear. It is certainly one of Kiss's heaviest songs. As for where this album stands in my Kiss catalog ranking, I would put Hotter Than Hell at the number 4 spot. Most people will find that surprising since people dock this album for its poor production value, but like I said, I think it adds to the album's charm. But it mostly falls down to song power, and half of this album are classics with the title track, Got to Choose, Parasite, and Let Me Go Rock and Roll, and then the deep cuts like Goin' Blind and Strange Ways almost add the sense that this band was coming across as an American Black Sabbath. It's all around killer stuff. So there you guys go. That is the second episode of the 25 Days of KISSmas series. Stay tuned tomorrow for the third episode, and you can already guess what's coming next. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the records spinning.
Treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a